attract industrial, and if you want freight development, something that's going to be complementary to the BNSF facility in Edgerton. I think that's certainly your prerogative, and the devil being in the detail about how you plan that out. I think that can lie down with being the extension of the bedroom community and having the amenities and the quiet. Part of what I'm hearing from railroads is you don't want tooting horns. You can get a quiet zone if you petition for one. So I think those things can rest well together.
In effect, I think what you're looking for is you want to have a diversified economy. You want a city that will serve many different constituents. And I think that can occur. We've seen that occur. We've worked with cities that have been in flux and have come up with very good strategic plans so that they can develop and evolve into a community that is more encompassing for the entire community as opposed to certain segments of the community.
If I could just tack onto that, currently I'm representing the City of Independence, and they're going through, in very many respects, the same sort of struggle right now because they are, and this is going to sound bad, but they're kind of the stepchild outside of Kansas City. You know, they don't have a center other than Harry Truman's home that drives people out to Independence. And so what we're working on right now, I'm part of a consulting team that's looking at doing a gateway entry into the city. And part of that gateway redevelopment is looking at the very things that break them down right now. They've got 435, that's a major trucking and industrial corridor. That's not a very attractive gateway to their community. And so they're trying to figure out how to green the gateway and how to bring lower intensity commercial uses that will allow a transition into the heavier industrial. So it's similar in some of the same things, but it's all being born out of a study, a careful, thoughtful study.
Allison, I want to thank you for your presentation. It's pretty comprehensive. My question to you is this. Obviously, we've kind of touched on the whole issue of having a comprehensive plan and strategic vision. How do you see Hartwick kind of contributing to that formulation of that vision and the comprehensive plan? Obviously, you have plenty of experience in that area, both on the retail, industrial, and commercial side. How do you see that? How do you see your law firm contributing to that process?
Well, that's a really interesting question because as a law firm and as attorneys, typically we are brought in as we are asked to be engaged. And so my initial reaction to that would be, Councilman, to the extent you want us engaged, we can bring our expertise in planning. We can, charrette experts. We could help you draft an RFP if you're looking for an investment counsel. We can pull all of those things together because we've done that not only for other municipalities but for clients as well. If you weren't inviting me on a limited basis to the dance, I probably would want to come in here and work closely with you all and sit down and have really direct conversations about what your vision is and then help you assemble a master plan. And I think that we have experience in that regard as well, much like, as I said, what I'm doing now for the City of Independence.
Thank you.
I just had a quick question. Maybe you could speak just a little bit to your experience of actually serving in the city attorney role, where in all matters really pertaining to the city is where we'll lean toward. I know there's been some specific corridors and transportation hubs, but I'm not sure if that's where you serve in Newton right now, if that's the role, or if you have in the past, or how that will lend itself, because I think that might be one of the unique instances of what we're looking for is actually the city attorney and being that piece of what we put together as city government.
And I had mentioned as a summary that I was remiss in not focusing more on the fact that, I guess we get fancied on ourselves of being expert in a couple of areas, and we get really excited about that. But I didn't mean to gloss over at all the fact that I feel like we have experience that's going to be very relevant to serving as city attorney. On point, I have never served as the city attorney for a city. What I have served as is corporate counsel for different political and quasi-political subdivisions doing the same functions that a city attorney would do. When I represented the Kansas City terminal, I was their chief outside counsel for all issues. So if there was an ERISA question, if there was an employment law question, if there was a something question, if we had to draft an employment policy or safety policy, I shepherded all of that. I would add, in addition to that, I had made mention of the fact that I currently represent the Port Authority of Kansas City, Missouri. Their general counsel is a very new young man. He's been in practice about 3 years or so. And I would think that it's safe to say that he calls on me and asks me sort of rogue questions. And I do that not for the City of Newton, to circle back on that. I'm very specific in my engagement with them. I'm serving as their legal real estate and railroad development counsel as they're trying to undertake the development of the Kansas logistics park. I know that Herb, you could speak to your role in the TIF Commission and how you generally
Yes.
work on it generally.
We serve as counsel to the TIF Commission of Kansas City, Missouri, and in that role, we're dealing with employment, contract, procurement, finance issue, real estate questions on an ongoing basis. We also serve as counsel to the Kansas City Building Corporation, where we're serving in a capacity that would parallel a city attorney as well, being responsive to their needs on an ongoing basis. And we've served in those capacities with other either municipalities or quasi-political entities as well.
I have a more practical, I guess, question following up to Heath. So at our meetings, the expectation is that we have an attorney present. Who would that be? And then what would be the process that you go through to prepare yourself for that meeting?
Well, I'm hoping it would be me. And the process for preparation, I mean, I would, I think, approach that as I approach any client engagement. I would be probably overly prepared. I would study your agenda, understand the issues, going back to the fact that I am offering to work for a month for no compensation because I want to come in. I want to watch and hear and listen. I want to meet you all. I want to meet with the city staff and understand all the issues so that when agenda item 3 comes up, I know all of the nuances with that, and I would know how to respond if queried by the public. I would understand how to advise you, whether in open or closed session, about how to respond to those issues.
Okay, thanks.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming. It's having seen the presentation before, I've enjoyed it a second time.
We tried to improve it a little bit.
Yeah. But I want to thank you for coming out. We're going to hear from another respondent, but we were certainly glad to have you as one of the 2 finalists, and with any luck, Allison, you'll be able to get over prepared sometime in the near future. We'll see.
Thank you. And thank you again for the opportunity to come and speak with you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Hey, what do you know about the other guys coming in?
Yeah, they're great. I love them. Thank you.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
My name is Ryan Dink. I'm an attorney with the law firm of McEnany, Van Cleve & Phillips, and I'll make some quick introductions of everybody here. This is Teresa Mata. She is an associate in our public sector practice group. Darrell Wynn, he is a partner in our public sector practice group. And Joe Reardon is also a partner in our public sector practice group. I'm going to start off the presentation tonight and might ask these gentlemen and lady to chime in at the various times if that's okay. So, thank you for having us here tonight. We're very excited to have this opportunity to speak to all of you. Mr. Mayor and Ms. Harrison Lee, I apologize if this is repetitive, but we've had the opportunity to speak with them, and really we're very excited about this opportunity because of what we think is a pretty good fit between our law firm and the city of Gardner. The reason we think it's a good fit is that this city is clearly a growing city, a city with a lot of opportunity, and we've represented numerous cities, as you'll see from our presentation, that have been presented with many of the same opportunities that we anticipate coming this city's way, and we would love